Hey, this is Wednesday, February 21st, and there's every chance I could have a class watching this right now with me sitting at my chair because you've made choices and you get to watch a video, so choices. But hopefully not. Hopefully you've chosen well. Book report is due in 1 week. Narrative speeches continue tomorrow. The Red Out game is coming up tomorrow night where you wear red, go to either the basketball game or the wrestling meet. We may have our bell work because Magic Lynn's trying to help you out. We have people with issues who are having problems with both prepositions, and so I handed out a preposition thing. So if you're not here today, I'm stealing your notebooks. We can demonstrate. Don't look so scared. It's okay. I gave a little preposition list thing, and so you get a list of all the prepositions that you get to hold on to forever and ever. Where's your other Magic Lynn's paper?
I don't know.
Ate it. It was delicious. You get your own preposition sheet that you get to use. If you lose your preposition sheet, you can go on my website and you can get it from there. And then also the other thing kids are having issues with is adverbs. We're going to try and help you out. How do you most easily recognize almost every adverb that's out there? You look for
ly.
So for some reason kids are still having trouble with that when they're going through all the Magic Lynn's and the grammar. So you look for an ly. That's not every adverb, but it's going to be most of the adverbs. And then here is your bell work for day 3 sentences. Zeus quickly jumped over the screaming woman. Hera angrily slapped her husband across his face. And Hephaestus impressively cured the headache with an axe. 4 of these is just practice, and we're going to be doing another grammar test coming up shortly to see if anyone else can get up that perfect score. On here, questions from you guys. I'm not going to go through and do every sentence together. I just wanted to see if there were ones that you had questions on that I can help you with. Yeah. Then do real quick. First sentence, what's our adverb?
Zeus. Quickly.
What do we look for to find that?
ly.
And then what is our preposition?
Over.
Excellent. Second sentence, the adverb is?
Angrily.
What did you look for?
ly.
What's our preposition?
Across.
And third sentence, adverb?
Impressively.
What did you look for?
ly.
And what's the preposition?
With.
And so if you want to be able to look at all of them, that's what it's going to look like to try and help you out. For those of you still trying to figure things out, I figured to help you out with that whole practice thing. For those of you who just don't care, there's not much I can do to help you. I think we're good to go from that point. Then, notebook you can put away unless you're still trying to double check and figure things out. But we're going to make this disappear and then go into the things from before. Let's see, so we got from here, I think we got through all of these with you guys, so I do this in a really speedy version.
No, we didn't go to March.
We didn't go to March?
We didn't finish
10 days.
We talked about
When you laugh, you're only encouraging me. It's better if you just stare at me, and that way I'm like, okay, that's not a good
Like
joke. I have to
period
raise my game. Music, museum.
Music.
Comes from?
Music.
How many were there?
None.
Done. And that was the idea that humans were made from mud, couldn't do anything on our own, so they'd work us like a little puppet, and then like they're not a puppet, that's ridiculous, like a muppet, because they're much more adorable. They're like puppets, but they sing. And worked us like a little muppet. And then music just means sound that comes from muses, a museum, a collection of things that come from muses. Pretty much every. It's also why when someone is really, they say that you are a muse, it means you inspire all of the artistry in them. And essentially, they could not do art without you. So saying that someone is your muse is supposed to be like this really big complimenting thing. June comes from
Hera.
Hera, whose her Roman name is
Juno.
Juno. Nicely done. She is the god of 3.5 things, and that would be marriage, childbirth,
And hair.
And irony.
Hair.
irony, and who's she married to?
Zeus.
So she's also known as Mrs. Zeus, is like the big thing that she's going to be part of. And then why is she ironic? She's the god of marriage.
Because
Why is it ironic? She's the god of babies. And then why is June connected to her?
Because
that's a month of marriage.
she was born in June. It's a month of
Hair.
Mind comes from which god?
The one.
Athena.
Athena, whose Roman name is?
Minerva.
Minerva. And she is the god of 2 main things, which are?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Why is she the god of wisdom?
Because she came out of Zeus's
And why is she the god of war?
She
She plays the drums. The fact that she made her own armor and stuff like that, and mind is your thinker. March, did we get to?
No.
Just kind of. So March, who's going to come from which god?
Aries.
And Aries' Roman name is?
Aries. March. Madness.
Mars.
Madness.
who is the one that's right over there, who is the other god of war, is Mars. He was the one that did not care how he won, as long as you were on the ground, and he was going to be the winning one. And so because of that, the first definition of Mars is whenever people were going off to war, you would honor the god Mars. And as you went off to war and you honored him, it was said you were doing the walk of Mars. And eventually this Mars walk was changed down to just calling a march. But it meant whenever you were doing a war walk, you were marching, which meant that you were honoring the god Mars. Which was different than the moon walk, because that goes the opposite direction, which is more of a retreat kind of thing. And then March, the other one, what's the other definition of March?
A month. A month.
Third month of the year. And the reason for that one is because of when it happens, because the weather is so chaotic, and the fact you go from warm weather to cold weather to snow to a tornado to a snow-nado. And so they figured that because of that, it was almost like there was a war going on with the heavens. Around this time every year, this part of the year was dedicated to the god of war because of how chaotic all of the seasons were.
Happy death.
And so that's our last one. Now, on the white sheet, we're going to go, this side will still be useful as we go through things, but the other side will be the one that's going to help you make more connections. As we start getting into our stories and all the things that connect to each other, it's going to be a little bit on the confusing side. Hopefully this will unconfusimicate things. Yes, that's definitely a word. So now, on the blue sheet, I'm going to be answering questions as we go through that on the stories. I've already answered some of those questions now. For those of you who paid attention and are somewhat smart, you're going to look at those and go, I already know this one. I already know this one. Because I've covered some of these. So we're going to start going through the stories and it's going to start answering some of those questions. I'm not going to stop and tell you, this is question 4, this is question 9. It requires you to just pay attention and read those at the same time. I have faith in you. TLB?
It goes in order, doesn't it?
Somewhat. For the reverse beginning bit, it kind of jumps around to make things more fun for me.
Okay.
Same question.
No.
No.
Answer.
Oh! Well then, can't twitch.
You said you were going to go through and tell us, but if we ask you if we missed a question, you said you would answer it, right?
No, I will tell you if I did answer it or not, yes. I won't tell you what the answer is.
Are we allowed to ask people for help? if we
Probably.
missed it?
And there's every chance that hopefully they'll mock you for not paying attention.
Yep.
Judy!
I don't have a white paper.
Because you were gone yesterday. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Here's your white paper. Alright, with Greek mythology, the very first thing that we know existed was?
Chaos.
Chaos. And chaos, of course, was a... Wait, where's chaos? Chaos. And chaos was a swirling ball of nothing. To help you picture it, I put a picture of chaos up there for you right now. But Mr. Broviak, I don't see it. Ball of nothing. Right, so the other thing... You're killing me here. With this one, the other way to picture chaos instead of the ball of nothing is apparently you're having trouble seeing it. Would be, what's the other thing that
Chocolate
chaos...
pudding.
Okay, so we'll put chocolate pudding up there to make things a little bit easier on you for those of you who are not following along with my humor. And chaos, after a while, got bored of being chaos and the big ball of nothing and eventually split to form the very first two gods. And the first two gods that splits, not spits, that's a different thing. Splits to form would be?
Uranus
Nicely
and
done.
Gaia.
So separates into like a giant amoeba and forms Uranus and Gaia. Gaia, or as some creators call her, Gaia, is also known as
Earth.
Earth, sky.
Skirth, or sometimes shortened just down to
Earth.
Earth, Mother Earth, and then Uranus or Uranus, also known as Skirth. Also, so we have Mother Earth and Father Sky. And they're the two things that exist for the long period of time, thousands of years. It's just the two of them hanging out, cuddling at night, watching TV, old reruns and stuff like that. And as time goes by, Mother Earth starts having conversations with Father Sky. And she goes, Honey Pooh, I have a problem. He goes, what's up? And that's a weird thing to call me. She was like, you'll get over it. She goes, so people have been talking, and your name is Father Sky, and my name is Mother Earth, and I don't think we can have those names if we don't have children. He goes, ooh, I'm intrigued. What are these children you speak of? She goes, I have no idea. But I think we need to have our very own set. He goes, all right, I could probably agree to that. How do we go about getting these children? She goes, I've not had that class in school yet. And he goes, I have not either. So they decide to have children by just wiggling their fingers at each other and going, babies. And so they decide to have the very first set of babies to ever exist. And so Father Sky and Mother Earth roll up their sleeves and they go, all right, you ready for this? Me too. All right, babies. And out pop the very first babies to ever exist. Now, we're not good at making babies yet, because these are the very first ones. They're prototype babies, version A. And so these first babies that come firing up out of the ground, there's 3 of them. Because if you're going to mess up making babies, you might as well go ahead and make a whole set of them. So 3 gigantic babies come firing up out of the ground. These first babies are called the Hecatoshires. Now, it's a big, long word. I'm not going to make you call them the Hecatoshires, because I'm never going to refer to them as the Hecatoshires. I'm going to refer to them as the 100-handed monsters. Because in Greek, Hecatoshire, the hecaton means 100, shire means hand. And so by definition, their name means 100-handed, because they had 100 hands. They also had 50 heads, and were gigantic. Were the largest creatures to ever exist aside from Mother Earth and Father Sky. Bigger than mountains, and they come flying up out of the ground. Not only that, they're also horrendously ugly. The most frighteningly ugly creatures to ever be. They're not to scale, by the way, with the number of heads and number of arms. You have to use your imagination on that one. They did have names, because Mother Earth loved them, as all mothers should, and she named them Cultus, Gyges, and Briareus. I'm not going to make you know their names either. It's just in case you want to write them a letter or something like that. I went ahead and put them up there. And so they come firing up out of the ground. Mother Earth, super excited. Like, oh, they're so adorable. I'm going to give them Gucci Goose. Gucci, Gucci, Gucci Goo on all their chins. Gucci, 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 Gucci. Across all 150 heads. I had to do the counting real quick. Father Sky takes one look at them and was like, hey, look at... Okay, I got a little sick looking at those things. And so he can't look at them. They're so horrendous, Father Sky actually has to turn his head and look away. He's like, ooh, if those are babies, I don't think we should have them. And Mother Earth's like, no, they're adorable. I just love them forever and ever. Father Sky goes, well, okay, we can keep them. I just can't ever look in their direction. So I'm just going to like hold my hands up so I never have to actually make eye contact with them. He goes, we can keep them as long as I never see them. But if I see them, they're going to make me all over the place, and that's going to be all disgusting, because no one wants to see Sky puke. So because of that, they get to just sort of hide off to the side. Mother Earth agrees. The big ugly monsters spend their time running around Earth, throwing gigantic boulders to each other and clapping their hands. It turns out they're also not real intelligent, so if you're going to have incredibly ugly babies, you might as well have dumb ugly babies. And they just run around slapping their heads and throwing stuff at each other like that, having a wonderful time. The thing is, when they're throwing their rocks back and forth, they tend to on occasion hit Father Sky with the gigantic rocks. So when he's just sitting up in his chair, up in the sky, watching TV, and a gigantic rock hits him, he's like, hey, okay, can't do that again. And so it keeps happening to him over and over again. Father Sky gets fed up with this and decides that he's going to take care of this ugly baby problem. So he goes, all right, ugly babies. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you ugly to your face. Here's what's going to happen. And he reaches out a gigantic sky hand, rips up a gigantic chunk of Mother Earth, creates this place called Tartarus. And Tartarus is just this giant hole in Mother Earth. He goes, look, babies, pit. And he pushes his babies into the pit and throws the gigantic block of land back on top of them, burying the babies inside of the gigantic block of land, getting rid of them into the pit of Tartarus, to which they will never be seen again until later in the story. Tailby.
So if Gaia, if she's like the Earth, wouldn't that mean that the children were playing on top of them and got pushed into her?
Yes. Once again, we're going to have to go ahead right now and do a whole logic timeout break, because where this story is going to go, it's just going to start blowing your mind. If you keep trying to make sense of it, actual smoke will come out the sides. So we're getting ready to go on a trip. On a little rocket ship. Yes, dear.
So did rain start when Ernest was puking?
No, those were his tears when he looked at him. He was like, oh, God. And that was the first time we had rain. Hail is going to be, no, that's not it either. I have no idea what puke from the sky would be besides frightening.
Acid.
So, yeah. Acid rain. That's...
Oh, that's fun.
No, it's not. Zoe.
So then at the beginning you said it was just them two.
Yeah.
Like, all by themselves.
Yeah.
Right? But then you said like people were talking.
I know. No one picked up on that joke. Thank you. I was trying to throw that out there, too.
I did.
Whatever. Y'all just stared at me and nodded your head. Oh, I missed all
You
of it.
said if we stare at you, then it'll stop. So.
Well, then she brought up the jokes, and it made it was really good. So I keep coming back to yeah.
It wasn't a joke. I was just confused.
No, yeah, no, I was just throwing it out there. I usually sometimes come back and hit that joke a little bit more, but that's whatever. Moving on. The other wonderful jokes. So now, Mother Earth and Father Sky are hanging out doing Mother Earth, Father Sky things. Father Sky really happy because he did the whole no longer having to puke down thing. Mother Earth not so happy because she misses having her babies. So, time goes by, and she approaches Father Sky again. She goes, "Hon, people have been talking, and so this whole having children thing, they say it's really cool, and that we should try it too." He's like, "Oh, we try it." And remember that all the time thing is like, "I don't think we should do it." She's like, "No. People also say that try again. Practice makes perfect." He's like, that's legit. People say that, then we're gonna have to probably listen to them because people wouldn't lie because they obviously exist. And so they decide to have a second set of babies. He goes, "All right, but if it looks like the first set, we're getting rid of them right away." He's like, "I'm not putting away babies I look at and puke. So they got to be much prettier than the previous one." She's like, "No, but much prettier." And she's like, I think I know what I'm doing." I go, "All right." So they go ahead and roll out their shoulders. He goes, have you taken the class yet? She goes, "No." She was like, "Just wiggle fingers?" She goes, "Wiggle fingers." Like, okay. They look at each other and they go, "All right. Wiggly, 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 babies!" And out pops the second set of babies. This set of babies, also a set of 3 that come popping up out of the ground. Not nearly as large as the big, ugly monsters. About the size of one small leg of the big, ugly monsters. And they have 2 legs of their own, 1 body, only 2 arms, 1 head, and 1 eyeball in the middle of the head. And this second set of babies are called?
Cyclops.
This is where the Cyclops come in. And the Cyclops are born. And that's what the Cyclops look like. Mother Earth immediately names them again with new names. And she calls this Cyclops Arges, Brontus, and Steropes. Mother Earth declares, "They're adorable. I love them so much. Those are so good." Father Sky has his eyes closed. He's like, "Okay, I'm going to take it." He's like, "I'm going to do a peeky. Those aren't bad at all." He's like, "Oh, they're almost adorable. I mean, kind of creepy. I wouldn't want to run into them like in a dark alleyway, but not bad." And so he decides that he's going to keep this race of children around. And when he looks at him, he doesn't throw up. So everything is good, life is happy, and the Cyclops run around on Mother Earth, and years go by of nothing bad happening. Until it's discovered the Cyclops have a special ability that no other god will have. They have the ability to take their hands, plunge it down into Mother Earth, pull out chunks of metal, and shape them with their bare hands. And they start shaping them into swords, spears, shields, armor, stuff like that. Well, being as that it is 3 brothers who are immortal and cannot die, and have the ability to shape weapons with their bare hands, what is it these 3 brothers are going to spend their time doing?
Trying to kill each other.
It's almost like you guys have brothers. Spend their time
do.
attacking and trying to kill each other. That guy. "Oh, look, I just made this sword. Hey, Bobby, guess what?" And it's like, "Haha, you're bleeding, but not dead." And so they just run around stabbing each other, having a grand old time, thinking it's the best thing in the world. All fun and games until one of them goes running and jumping off the top of the mountain to try and cut his brother in half and surprise him. And when he does a big overhand stroke, shink, and cuts the thing above him. The thing above him is
The sky.
Father Sky, who's just sitting in his chair watching TV, when all of a sudden his sword goes swink across. He's like, who cut me? Like, I don't know, it could have been anyone. And so Father Sky gets angry, so he's like, "Listen, no more cutting Father Sky. Daddy doesn't like it when you stab him." You guys probably had these same conversations at your house too. He goes, "Listen, if y'all keep stabbing me, I'm going to make you disappear like your older... I'm going to make you disappear." They're like, "What were you going to say?" So don't worry about it. And so time goes by until one day, once again, they're running around, playing, having a good time. One of them makes a perfect spear, chases his brother running up a mountain. He's like, "I'm going to get you!" And throws the spear as hard as he can. His brother sees it coming and dives out of the way, and the spear goes right past him and keeps traveling up into the sky and hits Father Sky. who once again is just hanging out with him, this time going over the fridge, getting out old roast beef. He's like, hey, I'm going to flick! Move through the spear. They're like, oh, that could be anyone. He's like, ah. Father Sky decides it's time to solve this problem. So Father Sky goes down to the Cyclops. He's like, hey, remember how Daddy said stop stabbing him and you didn't? I want to introduce you to a new place. We're going to take a vacation. Like, oh, vacation. He's like, I know. He's like, let me introduce you to it. Takes out his gigantic sky hand, rips up a giant hole in the earth. That hole in the earth is called Tartarus. And he's like, oh, no. Oh, they're still down there. He's like, look, stabby children. Chunk of metal. Phew, and throws it in there. And the Cyclops is like, stabby metal, weave. And they all jump into the hole. He puts the stuff back on top, smashes it back down, makes them disappear. Second race of children are now gone. Time goes by. Mother Earth, Father Sky, hanging out, doing their thing. When Mother Earth approaches Father Sky again, she goes, hey, I know one set of children made you throw up, and another set of children kept stabbing you, but you know what they say, third time's a charm. He's like, who are you talking to? She's like, people. So she convinces him to have a third set of babies. He goes, all right, we'll have a third set of babies, but this is it. We are done with babies after this. We're not having any more, so you better make sure this set is perfect. She goes, of course, I will, all right. So they do the whole wiggle finger thing. He's like, oh, wiggle, fingle, wiggle, fingle, babies. And out pops the third set of babies. Not 3, not 6, not 9, but an even dozen come firing up out of the ground like a machine gun full of puppies. Just firing everywhere. And this third set of babies are called?
Titans.
And that's where the Titans come in. 6 boys, 6 girls. We've invented girls for the first time. Mother Earth was like, I tried something new. To try and make them not so scary looking, I made female versions. And Father Sky's like, what's that? And she goes, it's like a male version, but better. He's like, I don't know about that one. And so it ends up making 6 females and 6 males, the 12 Titans. And once again, you don't have to know all their names. I'm just writing them up there so some people want to know what they are. And so when they pop up all over the place, once again, Mother Earth was like, they're so adorable. I love them. Father Sky, with his eyes closed, like, all right, I'll take a look. He's like, ooh, they're so small. Because compared to him and the monsters and the Cyclops, they are. They come up to like just the kneecap of the Cyclops, like the size of a toe of the big ugly monsters. So really small. And he's like, oh, those things are great. And they have the right number of eyeballs and the right number of arms and legs and heads. He's like, I think these are keepers. But let me make sure. He reaches over, grabs a big chunk of metal, throws it down on the ground between them. Goes like, Titans, do something with that. And the Titans run over to him and go. He's like, we're going to keep them. And they go, what do you mean keep us? He's like, shh, don't worry about it. And so the 12 Titans then get to exist, and everything is great. They run around on Earth. Mother Earth is happy. Father Sky is happy. The Titans are happy. The Titans decide they're going to honor Mom and Dad by building a temple, a palace, to honor both their mother and father. They want to put it in a place where it's going to be in contact with Mom, but as close to Father as possible. So where's the best place to build?
A mountain.
On top of a mountain. Because that's really close to Dad, but also still in contact with Mom. So they go on top of this mountain called Olympus, and they build a palace up there. And this palace becomes known as?
Mount Olympus.
I wasn't even trying to be tricky. Mount Olympus. And so that's where Mount Olympus gets built. Each one of the Titans makes their own throne and designs their own throne to sit in so they can talk to Mom and Dad while they're there. So how many thrones are on Mount Olympus?
12.
There are 12. Friday, we're a little behind, but we're going to get into more about how to kill your father on Friday.
Oh, man.